Karibu tena. Leo video yetu itakuwa tofauti kidogo. Kama mnavyoona leo niko na mgeni. I have a guest. Mimi namfahamu personally. So nadhani sasa itakuwa vizuri yeye ajitambulishe, kwa sababu nikimtambulisha mimi huenda kwa namna moja au nyingine nikaacha some parts za utambulisho. Kwa majina yangu ni Asajile Mwakalinga. Tunafahamiana. Kama wewe ni a new viewer, karibu. Kama you are returning subscriber, asante sana. Nashukuru sana kwa kuendelea kunisupport. Then allow me to welcome my friend, my brother, my inspiration. At some point, I will say later. Okay.
My name is Philip Tuju. Stage name Filah Tuju. I am a singer. I am a music mentor. I consider myself a teacher also. I teach music of different instruments, but mainly voice. I am the founder of Redforth Academy of Music. Also the founder of the Redforth Chorus, which is also under the Redforth Academy of Music. I am a dreamer. I'm a music dreamer. I dream of conquering the world using music, getting through to the heart of everyone in the world using music. I want to, I dream of making a big contribution and inspiration to generations through music. And, my motivation is just to know that, I'm touching lives in my own unique way using something that I love.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I said I know him personally. So I know that you are having your studies somewhere right now. Yeah. Now I was wondering, to be honest, the very first time I saw you there, nikasema, okay, this is Filah. And I've always known you as one of the greatest musicians I know. Actually, before I go there, do you have any relationship with Sauti Soul?
Well, Sauti Soul, we went to the same school. When I was at that's Upper Hill School. When I was in fourth form at Upper Hill School, Sauti Soul were in first form.
Okay.
And the tradition in Upper Hill is that the music students, the people who are gifted in music and the senior classes, are the ones who run the choir. They're the ones who run the Christian Union singing group. So I was the chairman of the school choir.
Okay.
And also I was also the leader of the Christian Union singing group. So we had a Christian Union singing group called Voice in the Light. And later you'll understand the connection between Voice in the Light and Sauti Soul. Voice in the Light, Sauti Soul actually means voice in the light. So in my year, Sauti Soul were in first form. So I recruited BN, Savara, and Chimano to the group, which was called Voice in the Light, because I was the leader at that time. And because it's a generational group, so every year we have a new group. The Form 4s leave, they recruit more members. So before we left, we recruited them. And I also used to train them in the school choir. So that's where, I noticed that they were passionate about music. They used to look up to me and used to look up to the group that we had that time called Pentarmony. So they used to look up to us and, we inspired them. But, just to see right now how we have grown and they now inspire me. I think that's the beauty of life and the beauty of this gift of music.
Okay, speaking of that, first of all, what comes to your mind when you hear the word Upper Hill?
When I hear Upper Hill, well, Upper Hill represents to me God's, just God's plan. I didn't want to go to Upper Hill. I liked Upper Hill because my brother was there. My school of choice, the school that I really wanted to go to was Lenana School.
Okay.
And I got the marks to be called to Lenana School, but I wasn't called to Lenana School. I was called to Upper Hill. And the moment I got to Upper Hill, I was put in the music class. The way they just, in first form, they choose for you. I was put in the class that does music as a subject. By the first term, I was already chosen as a leader of the choir, as much as I was in Form 1, and everything was just working out well. And that's when I had the first group, Voice in the Light, at that time, and there were the likes of Brian King. So people who inspired me. From the word go, I felt that God was positioning me. Everything was just falling into place in terms of building my journey. So Upper Hill, I consider it as my first foundation in terms of my career in music. Yes, earlier my father was a singer and a leader in church, so I got to experience music. But at Upper Hill is where I discovered who I am. I learned how to express myself, my fears, my dreams, my insecurities. It was at Upper Hill that I discovered all this, and it's at Upper Hill that I made a decision. I want to be this. I want to achieve this, and it was just that place where God placed me. It wasn't always very easy, and it was a very tough time for my family also, because my dad had just lost his job and the business was doing very badly. But that opportunity of Upper Hill was the time that I considered that molded me, molded my character to appreciate humility, to appreciate hard work, to appreciate vision, to appreciate commitment to achieve a certain goal, to be able to say, okay, this is not my path. It might be good, but this is not my path. At Upper Hill is where I feel I was able to learn how to make such decisions. So anytime I think about Upper Hill, well, I consider it my foundation. I think in a nutshell, I would say my foundation, musical foundation.
Okay, the very first time I saw you, Filah, was on a certain video. Actually, I was watching. I'm forgetting the name again. Damian Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Maisha Superstar. That should have been 2015.
That's 2015, yeah.
Yeah. He was doing Nchi ya Kitu Kidogo.
Okay.
And you're there with Phil.
With Phil, yeah. We were backing him up.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. That's when I saw you for the first time. Mm-hmm. Then I watched your performances. Mm-hmm. Then, and I was like, okay,
yes,
he does good. Then fast forward to 2016, I guess thereabout, 2016, I get to see something called Redforth. At the same time, I'm seeing something called Upper Hill. For me, it was confusing.
Yes.
What is Upper Hill? What is Redforth? Kulikojana is here.
Yes.
We're having this arrangement of Kulikojana. Sure. Should it be a remix? We call it a remix.
Yes.
Coke Studio is here. Yeah. I see these Upper Hill guys in Coke Studio. Okay. First of all, what's the relationship between Upper Hill Choir and Redforth Chorus?
Redforth Chorus. Well, I always liked telling this story because I volunteered at Upper Hill for almost 15 years. Wow. Just volunteering. After clearing school, I've kept going back to Upper Hill to teach for free. I might get an allowance here or there. The students used to contribute for me, sometimes to get fare. So I trained Upper Hill for a long time. And I was like, I like what we are making out of these fellow alma maters of mine in terms of these fellow students, former students of Upper Hill, just to see how they are growing, and just to watch, okay, these guys, we are churning out brilliant singers. We are churning out people who have character in music, people who are passionate about music. But I felt I wanted to do more. Upper Hill School existed. And then when I finally decided to do this cover, to record this cover of Kulikojana with the boys of Upper Hill School, we first did a very short clip. And then it went viral. A very short clip I just took on my phone and we recorded, and then it went viral. Then I said, let's do the main song. So I requested Sauti to please send me some parts, some instrumentals, so that we make the song, and they agreed. So when we did it, we were now about to release the song. We wanted to release the song as Upper Hill School Choir. But my vision was bigger. My grander plan was to build a choir that is beyond Upper Hill School. yes, I would have wanted it to just be Upper Hill, but the bigger vision that I had, that I felt God had placed in me, was to build a choir of young people that is going to bring so many young people together. And at that particular point, I just had a discussion with a friend of mine. He's a famous musician called DNA. And DNA told me, Filah, I know you're a kind person. Well, people say that, but I know you're a kind person. So what you do with this brand that is about to blow up is very, very important. Mm-hmm. So he advised me, told me, don't call that product, don't name it Upper Hill School Choir. Because if you name it Upper Hill School Choir, you're not going to be able to own it. Mm-hmm. So his thinking was, you want something that you can still be able to use to build your portfolio. So he advised, name it something else. So call it the Redforth Chorus. I had already come up with the idea of Redforth Chorus. So make sure you title the song Redforth Chorus with Upper Hill School, so that you can easily go and have a Redforth Chorus with Moi Girls Nairobi. You can have a Redforth Chorus with another school, which was the bigger vision, to have Redforth Chorus bringing all these young people together. And that is why, as we wanted to pay homage with the song in terms of honoring the school, but at the same time also how are we preparing ourselves for the future. And I feel that was very good advice for me. It would have seemed a bit selfish, but I think that was the reason why we have Redforth today, because of that foundation. And I can honestly say the success that we've had with Redforth to date is based on us deciding to intentionally release Kulikojana and also brand it as Redforth Chorus Upper Hill School. So wherever Upper Hill School was appearing, they were also called the Redforth Chorus. And we talked to the boys, told them, from now on, you'll be called the Redforth Chorus of Upper Hill School. Yes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now, we are speaking of Redforth Chorus.
Yes.
But there is what we call Redforth Academy.
Yes.
What's the relationship?
Well, now to just go back a bit, I always had a dream, because I was in 2005. I was accepted to Berklee College of Music.
Okay.
2005. I applied to Berklee College of Music, and I was accepted. So I was accepted without any form of scholarship, so I could not attend. So I tried getting a sponsorship, but it didn't work out. In 2007, they were doing some auditions, so I got a scholarship, but the scholarship was 30% scholarship. So Berklee is a very, very expensive school, so that 30% again was not possible. So my dreams were, my dreams of joining Berklee were always, being pushed. So I started thinking, I'd already started volunteering at Upper Hill School while now waiting to, to travel to Boston. So when 2007 came and I could not be able to attend, I decided, well, I need to think about what's my plan, because I want to grow in music. And one of the regrets that I have, and I always tell to people, the regrets that I have is when I didn't get to go to Berklee. I had an invitation to join Kenyatta University, and I didn't attend because in my mind I was just saying I just want to go to Berklee. So even when Berklee didn't work out, I still again applied to Kenyatta University. I was accepted again, still didn't go. I was feeling in my heart, I don't want to do this. I really want to go to Berklee. So when Berklee didn't work out in terms of school fees, I decided I'm going to form my own Berklee. Because I'm imagining how many other talented people want to study contemporary music but can't make it. So I decided I'm going to start my own version of Berklee. Just start it, and then maybe one day it will work out. So it was a dream since 2009, since 2007, all the way. In 2009, I got an opportunity to go to tour Norway with my group. So I made some money. So we made some money, and then I bought some studio equipment, and then I also bought a few instruments, and I felt, okay, I think my dream of starting a music school is there.
When was that?
This is now 2009.
Okay.
2009, we went to Norway. We toured for about 6 months, came back, made some good money at the time. I decided to let me invest in buying equipment, buying instruments. So we did that, and it did very well. We were able to, I was teaching at different places. I was teaching with my instruments, so I was making some money. But I still felt I need to open a music school. A new music school that would be, for me, an opportunity for people who want to study contemporary music. Because most schools were doing classical music, and at the time, I didn't open my mind to think that this foundation of African music, this foundation of classical and African music would be beneficial to me. So I was mainly for the jazz, I was mainly for the R&B, mainly for the pop. So that's what I wanted to study. So that's what I was thinking about. So when I had the dream, and then I was trying to get money, but I can't do it. So I was just doing a lot of peripatetic teaching different places up to around 2012. 2012, now I started actively now trying to set up a music school. So I used to sort of brand a few things. So I did music camps. I contacted my church. I told them I want to do a music camp for kids during the holidays. So they agreed. We did music camps for about 2 years, from 2012 all the way to about 2014. And then now, 2015, I got in touch with a friend of mine, actually two friends. One was called Robin Marcel. So Robin told me that he wants to invest in equipment, just PA equipment. So he decided to invest. And then I had another friend who we had studied with at Upper Hill called Derek Mwenesi. So he listened to my story and my dream. And Derek said he was going to give me the capital to pay the first room that we would use. So he was going to pay for me, to help me pay the deposit for the room in South B, and also pay 2 months rent.
The current South B.
The current South B where the school is. So I felt, wow, no one has offered to help me in this way. So I told Derek, Derek, in return of the favor that you're willing to do this with me, I think I want you to be a partner. I'd want you to be a partner at Redforth. And then Robin on this other side, Robin was getting help in terms of, had some money, and he was investing in a PA system. So I told him, I think this would help us in doing events and, just pushing the school and also making money on the side. So I partnered with Robin on setting up the live performance aspect of the company. So we started in 2016. I remember it was 2016 March is when we opened the school. And then I was teaching mainly former students who had taught at Upper Hill. Some had taught at State House Girls, Moi Girls. Those were the ones who were coming. And then now I also had my studio equipment that I had moved from the house, so I moved it to the space. So now we had a studio, we had a PA system, and then we had musical instruments, and we have space. So now I started actively promoting the school together with Derek, together with Robin on this other side. So the school did well. We started, it was challenging sometimes. Then we decided, why don't we record that song, Kulikojana, with the boys? And I can tell you, the moment we recorded that song, that opened so many doors, gave us the capital to do so much more. And I can say that was now the stepping stone of, now you see, the school started before the choir, in terms of the choir. Mm-hmm. But now because of the fame of the choir, many people were not aware, okay, what is Redforth Academy? Us guys know Redforth Chorus. Mm-hmm. So, but that's what now we've been working on, just working on our marketing aspects in terms of how do we tell our story better. And, now that I'm saying this, I'm able to look back and see, okay, these are the areas where I have shortcomings, in terms of active and very intentional marketing. Over the years, we've been able to see the effect of not marketing a certain brand or a certain product in a certain way. You can clearly see that the choir has done better than the school because my efforts were more in the choir than the school. So those have been the learning processes. And then even the business aspect of it, because you now realize, you also have some personal issues, interpersonal skills that maybe are not very good for business and maybe have contributed to relationships being broken. So eventually we parted ways with Derek. It was amicable, but of course it didn't have to end in a way that we part ways. But we parted ways, and then also Robin also moved on to do his own thing. But I could say those are the two gentlemen who really stood with me when I had this big dream, and they dared to dream and to believe in whatever we were doing and what we had in plan, and I'm grateful to them. So, but it has been a learning process, but yes, we want now to be able to push the school, the Redforth Academy of Music, to also come to a level where it is a recognizable brand, and not just a brand that is riding on the fame of the chorus, where we really have good quality music education that is very intentional. Our focus is mainly contemporary music, but I would want a school that is all-rounded, that can be able to continue with a very conservatory style of teaching, which is classical, can also do African music, and can also do contemporary music, which we consider music of today, but just giving this foundation to the young musician to be able to flourish and do well in the industry. So that is the intention. It's a learning process, and we are making progress, and I can say we have a lot to learn, and now we really want to build a strong foundation.
Wow. Actually, I need to say this. You have spoken about the people you've inspired, and actually I'm one of them. The fact that, I was in Tanzania by then, and I really wanted to be part of Redforth Chorus.
All right.
I really wanted to sing in Redforth Chorus. And the fact that today I'm having Redforth Chorus as an outlet for my, this is the point when I wanted to brag.
Yes.
I'm going to brag about two things.
Yes.
First, Redforth Chorus now is an outlet for my
music,
my compositions and arrangements. And as a composer, it's very important that you have your music performed. I have a lot of songs composed, arranged in my folders. We call them music folders, music files, I don't know. I'm having a lot of them in the house, but I don't have a place.
Yes.
So getting an honor to share those arrangements and compositions with the Redforth Chorus is such a humbling thing to me, considering the fact that I was once dreaming just to sing the very last, even the lowest member of Redforth. So I feel so good about that. I'm about to brag about another thing. Yeah, he has been my inspiration. He has inspired me so much. But I find a place where I have to instruct him.
Oh yes. Kabisa.
Actually, tell them.
Yes.
I'm his dance instructor.
He's my dance instructor. African music. He advises so much on African music. He teaches us African dance. And he's my senior in school, and he's doing his masters. He's doing his masters, and now I've just gone back to school because, just a backstory of, Redforth and wanting to go to Berkeley. So I got back to Berkeley, but now I'm doing some courses in Berkeley, but it's still very expensive. I'm doing the online program. But now I thought, well, it would be wiser for me to do a master's in Berkeley. So why don't I do my bachelor's here, and I'm doing it now at Technical University, where you're also doing your master's. So I think that has also been a learning process, going back to school in my late 30s, and just watching how young people are interpreting music education and the importance of music education. And it's a very interesting space for me because as much as there's so many things that I thought I knew, but now I also realize there's so many things that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And are very, very important. And, to be a musician who has come from the, from what you call the industry, and to be able to sit here and, just listen to, research that has been done by musicians, and, some of the lecturers are my age mates, some of them I'm even older than them, but to listen to the knowledge that they have and their skills in being able to share this knowledge to students, and to see the excitement of young musicians coming in. I mean, it's a very interesting space for me. And to, just watch people like you, people who have taken certain aspects of music and have flourished so much and are doing so well, and to just listen to you. I think that's the beauty. Even when I was talking about, I taught Sauti Soul, but when it comes to the business of music and so many other aspects of the music business, I learn so much from them. So I think that is the, that is a turnaround that I've had, and, so many lessons that I can take. There are times that, I think, I think I'm a successful musician, so I don't think I need these young people, but I have gotten that opportunity. I've been humbled, by these experiences to see, wow, there's so much to learn. There's no point that I'll get and I feel, okay, I'm at the top. There's so much. Even I was telling my classmates we are doing the bachelor's with, I was just sitting with them and telling them, hey, guys, you guys think you're looking up to me, but you have no idea how I'm inspired by the way some of you are carrying yourselves, the way some of you are very passionate about music. If I had this passion at that time when I started, the number of things I would have achieved. So I was just telling them, well, we as musicians, we share. This is not something that is like accounting where you have to go through certain phases. In music, you're doing different segments at different times, but it all builds you into become this wholesome musician who can be able to teach, who can be able to perform, and to inspire generations. So I think this has been a ride that, I'm enjoying. Sometimes, it can be overwhelming, but it's something that I'm really, really enjoying and learning a lot.
Yeah, first I should say this. I love how humble you are. We have not spoken about the program in South Africa. Is it in South Africa?
Yes.
Amazing Voices.
Amazing Voices, yeah.
Where you are judged there.
Yes.
And that's not just a normal platform. Yeah, it is a very big platform.
Yes.
But when now I come to a place where I can tell you turn right, then without asking, you just turn right. That's a very high level of humbleness, and I should commend you for that. We are going to talk about the whole conversation about these talent searches. Yeah, we'll have some minutes for that. Okay. But now, let's talk about these two things. First, I've been in choirs. I've also been in Redforth now.
Yes.
I know that these choirs are not getting you anything in terms of finances. Because roughly, how many members do you have?
Well, active members, we would say about 60 active members who would be in out. But the plan, we are using a campus method where we have a group in Eldoret, we have a group in Mombasa, we're trying to set up a group in Kisumu. So that has not been very successful, but I think in the new year, we are planning to, just be more intentional, more organized. In terms of revenue, it's never enough. I think the point would be to say that it's never enough, but it requires that vision and believing in the vision that let's keep doing this. It might not make financial sense for me, but there's a young person who has a gift in music. They're going to get that 1,000 per show. They're going to get 2,000 per show, which eventually is going to bail them out of something. But the bigger benefit that they're having is that they're getting this foundation in performance, this foundation in musicianship that they can be able to use to grow their individual talent.
And you can see them actually.
And you can see that they're growing. So, I mean, I think I'd be dishonest if I say that the revenue that Redforth Chorus has made has not benefited me and also benefited the school in general and also the members. I think we are one of the very privileged choirs in Kenya where we are called for some very high-level events. So we have done international events. We have performed for numerous presidents in the same sitting. We've done numerous national events. So we make, I would say we are arguably the highest earning choir in Kenya. I would say that without a doubt, knowing the quote that some of the choirs do and the number and the frequency of events that they do. So what would be undoing, I would say, is the numbers that we have in terms of splitting the amount. And then some of the policies that we have, it might not make sense for everyone because ours is mainly a training platform. It's not it's not a platform where we get all the money and it's split amongst all the members. Ours is an arrangement where we get the money, 50% remains with the academy to run academy affairs in terms of making sure that you have a practice space, making sure that if you're out of town, if you've moved out of the CBD, fare is catered for by the academy. So logistics and administration costs, so those ones remain with the academy to be able to pay any material that we might need and any expenses that may arise. So that is the system. It has always not been effective, but we felt it's a more fair arrangement. There might be times that we might compromise when the payment is lower, but I would honestly say that it has made sense. And then it has been tough during the COVID time and also after the COVID period. So now is when we are picking ourselves back, and we're hoping that, we can be more organized in the way we plan for all these things, because that, I believe, is now what lays ground for all these challenges to appear where the members are not happy about something. So we have learned over the years of what can cause disharmony in the choir on matters that are logistics. So it has been a learning process. But I can say the revenue has been good, particularly now that we are coming away. We are slowly getting out of this COVID aftermath. So we are hoping that things will work out better even in the new year.
Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, that's what we have managed to discuss leo. So this is where we are going to end part 1, but stay tuned. We are going to upload part 2 soon so that we continue this conversation. We still have a lot to talk, and I don't think even these 2 parts are enough. So we'll definitely find some other time we talk about some more things. So till we meet again in the next video, my name is Asajile Mwakalinga.